Welcome, folks, to the FSBN channel. My name is Jason, and you are in the right place. If you're wondering about how do I get my flight simming from level here to the next level, what do the steps and the tutorials basically on how to start from A to Z on how to actually get realism in your flying, in your sim flying. To the utmost. And that's what we are about at Coastal Airways. We're all about that stuff, and especially this channel. Three things on this channel: learn something, have fun, and do it right. That's our motto. So let's jump right into the content right now. Let's get into this. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have a few things. One, you'll want a sim brief account. We're going to talk about SimBrief as well today. We're going to do a flight plan. You're going to want to either, if you're flying for a virtual airline, or if you're not, you're going to want to get some numbers, some loadout numbers, and we're going to talk about that as well. We're doing a proving flight here at Coastal Airways, so we're going to show you what we use, what we're going to do, and you're going to want some form of charting. So Navigraph is a great, I would definitely highly recommend Navigraph as a subscription service. However, the amount you get from Navigraph is truly amazing, folks. I don't think you realize what they give you for really pennies in terms of the content you get and the amount of value added. It's just to give you an idea, like if you were to just get charts from Jeppesen or something, it's $1,200 a year just for the United States, right? So multiply the entire world, it's like a fraction of that cost for an immense amount of value. All right, so first thing we're going to do is jump right into this. By the way, do me a favor. Let's take a look. This is from Coastal Internal, the intranet, we call it. So you're going to want, like I said, some kind of a loadout or something like that, and that's what we're going to do right here. I'm going to show you. This is our company's flight plan, if you will, or a company's process on how we do things. So we're gonna take flight 87. We're going from Miami to Corpus Christi. It's a brand new flight. We're going to do this today. We're at 7:20 departure. You got to know that. Passengers on board, we're going to get our packs out. Looks like right here 149. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in there right now here. I'll use my pen tool. We'll go 149. Bag weight is coming in at looks like 47.68. So we'll just run that down, 47.68, and our cargo is pushing 69.06. Now, for you at home, you'll have to have something that, and SimBrief can do this automatically. Let's say you didn't belong to a virtual airline. Well, SimBrief does this for you as well, and I'll show you how to use that tutorial. So we're kind of just going to do a full A to B, stretch out this whole flight, and I'll show you exactly what it takes to do this. Now, total loadout, it looks like it's 39.81. So I'm just going to put that here, 39.8. And that is enough for us to get into SimBrief now. And we'll start planning this flight. So once I got that, I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to click generate a flight plan. And what this is going to do is this is going to send us to SimBrief. It's pulling up, it's doing its thing here. We will get the SimBrief data here in just a minute. Where to go? It went somewhere. Let's try it again here. I'll click edit. All right. Now, this is what we've got. I'm trying to make this big and I can't. Hopefully you can see that at home. It's not too bad. So what we're doing this is a SimBrief. Now, if you just go to simbrief.com, you could see this as well. Same kind of format. It's just a little tighter when we're doing the auto, but it's the same thing. So we've got Miami. We're arriving at Corpus Christi. We got to take a look at the arrival weather in Corpus. Right now, it looks like it is, what time is it? So it's 21 Zulu, give or take. And what we'll do is we kind of want to look at timing. Here, this says from 25, which is tomorrow, from 06 Zulu. So that's in the morning. This is the kind of thing we're going to be working with right now, right here. It's not exactly 25 just yet. It will be soon. So we take a look at these numbers. We're going to use this top portion. And we have to know if we have an alternate or not. Now, by the way, this could be a completely separate video on how to actually plan a flight and dispatch and all that stuff. But I'm going to walk you through the steps. You got to know if you need an alternate. Not every airport's going to carry an alternate. Matter of fact, we don't want an alternate because generally we have to carry more fuel. So in this particular case, take a look at this. We got 150-25 gusting 33, so it's pretty gusty. 6 miles visibility. We have broken clouds at 3,500 and overcast at 25,000. Now the ceiling today we're concerned with is the broken at 3,500. Now technically that's not an IFR situation. We do not need an alternate. However, let's take a look at the timing here. We've got broken at 15, so the clouds are coming down a little bit. We got broken at 8. So I know we have something's approaching here. The clouds are getting lower. Now, good to know, but that's at 06. This is a 3-hour flight. So if we take off at, we're going to be approaching 21. Let's see if we take off at 22. 0, 0. So maybe we land at 01. We're still within that time frame of this. Okay, there's no tempo, there's no probability, there's nothing. So we're going to be in this range. It's not going to get really bad until the wee hours in the morning. So I'm pretty happy with not using an alternate from this airport. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this. I'm going to click none. I do not want an alternate. Again, that's going to carry more fuel for us that we do not need. And then we are going to be flying 800 today, or Town Beach, Maine. That's our 800. We are going to come down here. We do the Southwest layout here at Coastal, whatever VA you fly for, or if you don't, whatever airline you're mimicking, that's what you'd put in there. Pounds, everything is good there. That's good. If you want to do a step climb, throw that in there. We might. This is a 3-hour flight. So looks like 149's freight. This is all set automatically, by the way. We have this in the settings. You can go in your aircraft settings on your sim brief, and you can put that in there. All right. Fuel planning, I'm going to open that. This is where it gets fun. We're looking at a 3-hour flight. So for us, it's 35 minutes. If it hits 4 hours, then we go 45 minutes. And anything under 2 hours is 25 minutes. So we're going to do 35 minutes, and that's contingency. Reserves at 45. That's normal IFR for the United States. It's always 45 minutes. This never changes. In the United States, IFR flight plan, it's always 45 minutes. Okay. That is fuel you cannot use. That's fuel you want in the tanks when you touch down, all right? Everything above that is gravy. That's good. Taxi fuel, we're good. I'm going to add some, and I'm going to come down here and I'll show you. This is kind of where you look at your flight plan and you go, where's the weather? The weather's to the north of us. So that's good. Now we're going to come over here and look for turbulence. Now, the feature that I'm using is only available if you have a Navigraph subscription. This is another thing why you're going to want a Navigraph subscription. If you're going to amp up your flight plan, or if you're going to amp up your simulation, right, you're going to want to go to the next level on realism, you've got to have one of these. You've got to have a Navigraph subscription. It's really hard not to fly without it. Now I'm looking at turbulence here. Now 360, you can see it's light turbulence pretty much throughout the Gulf of Mexico here. It's light turbulence just within this range, and then it's pretty much okay. That's at 360. We're going to go up to 380. It's pretty lighter, so the higher we go, the better it is. Let's try one more at 39, one more at 40. Not too bad. The low stuff, it gets at 32. It's nothing, pretty much nothing there. So on the actually higher elevations, it gets a little light. Out of Miami, it's going to be bumpy. So the climb is going to be bumpy. It's good to know. Just kind of get the lay of the land. If you wanted to, you can look at SIGMETs as well. And you can see where your SIGMETs are. We got India and then Echo. Tons of SIGMETs over here, just convective. It's getting into springtime, so those are going to be popping off a lot more as we go. Everything looks good here. I am going to add extra fuel, and I'm going to add minutes, and I'm going to give myself, let's give ourselves 20 minutes of bump. That's 20 minutes extra gas just in case we need to divert or, mess around. We might need to do another little go around. We're going to give us 20 minutes of pad fuel. All right, this is our distribution. We're going to have 149 and then cargo's in there as well. We have to see This might not be our final out. It depends on our landing weight and stuff like that. The routing right now, the GLAD's 3 is a departure. We're going to go Shack M50 to Natalie, Dagger, and then Anchor. You can see that right there. There's our high. This is our waypoint. It's pretty much right over Feet Wet, straight across, and then over to Corpus. I do not know if there's an arrival. You could find out if there's an arrival into there. If you have the charts open, you could see it. It looks like, I don't, and these 3 green are actually real world procedures or real world routes, if you will. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click generate flight. You always want to do that first, because if you don't do that, it's not going to calculate your sim brief. All right, so let's pull that in there. You could see we don't have any restrictions in terms of, no, we're not weight restricted. But I'm going to open this because it's just a little easier, and I'll drill down for us to see. And I'm going to start recording some stuff on here. I'm sorry about my camera, it's all jacked up. We have class 2 navigation, we know that. We're going to go 320, I'm good with that. Now let's take a look at some weights. Remember I said the weights are going to be an issue, or could be potentially an issue. So let's go ahead over here to our weight section, and I'm going to just drill down. Our zero fuel weight right now, 133.2. You can see that, 133.20. Oops, let's go 133.2. And then we're going to be looking at our takeoff weight, which is going to be 159.9. And then finally our landing weight, which is very important, 142.5. And I like to write all these numbers down. Gives us a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Station is Miami. This is our fuel ticket. Aircraft's 800 Charlie Sierra. Date is 24. And then minimum fuel, so it's up here. Your minimum fuel is going to be 24.7. We're going with a maximum of 27.3. And we want 27.3. So we're going to put 27.3 in. I think it's going to be gate out. It's going to be Gulf 14. Now I know that because Coastal Airways, we have assigned gates, and we use basically the Gulf gates at Miami, at least on the one side. Now we have about 6 or 7 departures early in the morning. Now let's take a look at our maximum landing weight. You could see 146.3. We're landing at 142.5. So even if we burned less than forecast, we're still good to go. All right. So if these two were very close, I'd probably take off fuel or bags or passengers or something like that. But right now, that's good. Okay. So right off the top of this thing, it looks good. I think what we'll do is we'll come up to the paperwork now, and I believe the aircraft has 7,745 in there on the fuel. So it arrived with 3,872. 0. Now you don't have to do it like this. This is the way we do it at Coastal. That doesn't mean that you have to do it this way. You can do whatever you want, but this is the way we do it at our airline, just because, paperwork is always something that we're forced to do here. Anytime an aircraft does anything, there's always paperwork. 7,745. Now planned fuel, we're going to do 8.2, and that's going to be what? 16.4, and then we're going to take the difference between 27.3, and we'll see what we get. It looks like 10.9 in the center at this point, which will give us 27.3. Now, we cannot leave with less than that. That amount has got to be in the aircraft, okay? Good to know. Everything else here is set for the aircraft when we get there. I like to put this in there, CRP, just to let us know how when we do our passenger briefing, we will let them know what the weather is, what the ride's going to be, all that good stuff. We're going to go Gulf 14, I do not know on the end yet. I do not know anything else. So this is pretty much filled out from what we can tell, as much information as we have right now. The next thing we're going to do is go to the weather center, and it's going to give us some weather data that we need. We kind of got an idea using SimBrief on what to expect. So that is good. I do like to look at prog charts just to see where our frontal systems are. We have a front approaching Texas right now, coming through the western half of Texas. This is probably a warm front with this cold front behind it coming in and through. So there's a lot of, you can tell the west is just interesting. The east is nice and dry because of a high pressure system here. So we're going to be taking off. We're going to be basically in high pressure system this whole entire route until we get to Corpus. So if we're looking at 00 Zulu, it's in a couple hours. We'll look at it now. By the time we land, it's going to be around right there. Yeah, see where it's approaching. We'll be on the ground before this cold front comes and wallops us. But it's coming, and you can see, remember how the clouds are dropping. So it's a good idea to always look at what is going on with my camera, guys. Give me a second on this. All right, folks, so there you have it. My camera's all goofy. That's kind of what we want to look for. Obviously, turbulence is a big thing. Icing is a big thing too. But again, the icing is probably going to be away from us mostly up in that range there as we proceed for the flight. And you can see kind of up there at 18,000, it kind of goes away. So generally speaking, we'll have a good ride. Turbulence is another big thing. Like I said, we checked that out already. So not too concerned with the turbulence. It's light when it's forecasted. The nasty stuff's to the north of us, obviously preceding that cold front. So this is kind of what I want to do. You want to make sure you've got your flight plan issued, which we do. We have this, and I like to save this. So I'm going to go ahead and save this on my releases, and then I actually will put this in my share drive, and then I'll put it on my iPad. So I will have it ready to go on my iPad. So I annotate. You can annotate now with the charts as well on your app, the Navigraph charts. Annotate that as well. So that's pretty good. So we've got a booked flight. We checked the weather. We've got passengers loaded and ready to go. This is even before you get into the sim. Now we're going to start the sim here shortly, and we'll be sitting here in Miami here in a minute. But this is kind of where the pre-flight briefing is. I'm pretty much done now. Know how much gas we're going to put on the airframe and all that good stuff. So the next step is going to be getting the sim fired up. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll see you at the gate. All right, folks. So once you start up your simulator, you're going to come into, your departure airport. Obviously, we're going to leave in Miami. So get your jet. We're going to pick the 800. Obviously, we're flying the 737-800, and we're flying the 800 tail number. So we're going to go from Miami here. So we're just going to type in Miami. Now, you can't start on the runway, right? So you're going to have to come over to the Gulf gates here. For us at Coastal Airways, we will start over here. And I think we're putting down at G14 or G16 right now is going to be probably our airline of choice. This is probably for a wide body. That's okay. We could drop it down right here in Gulf 14. We own this entire terminal right now. We're going to set this as departure. And then what I'm going to just do is bring this all the way back. And we've got a 7:25 departure. So show time for us is, if we were out at 7:25, that would mean, you could say 6:40 or something like that would be a good starting time for you. For us, we'll probably do, I'd say it's 6:30 if I got there. It's going to back it up to about 6:20 because there's some things we're going to do. And I'm going to make sure we're on real world weather and all that good stuff. We got live weather. And I'm going to click fly. And that's all you do for this portion. All right, folks. So you can see it kind of just dumps us in the airport here. And this is just the default PMDG settings So what we're going to do is change a few things. Okay, so one, we're going to change our fuel out, because remember, right now it's just defaulted to like 2,000 something. It's like 20,000 pounds of fuel. You can see that 25. So we're going to go here, click fuel, and we've only got 77.45. And the reason why we're doing this is because when they fuel us up, they actually charge us money virtually, but it hits our account at Coastal. So if they, fuel pricing and stuff like that really matter. So we do that. Also, you'll want to come over here and you'll want to set your payload to empty. Go ahead and set that to empty right now. That's going to dump everybody out of your airplane, and then you're still not done. We're going to go cold and dark. Now, before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and get this aircraft configured to a Coastal configuration. It's not, and I think it's just because of it's a brand new airplane I just installed. So I'll be back. All right, folks, there we are. But we've changed the configuration now for this. One thing I'm going to do is just drop down to the FMC, and I'm going to go save. Now you can obviously save this now, or you can do a cold and dark start. What I'm going to do is try to take everything off of this. We got ground power on. We're going to request the AC card. We're going to get that on the aircraft. Then I'm going to come over here and then remove that because it's a jetway, so it's going to disconnect the stairs, and also I'm going to release the belt loaders here and get them off the aircraft. And once they get off the airplane, we're going to do a few things. Let's go upstairs. I'll throw this to bright. These are off, and I'm going to really set this myself up. And you could do a cold and dark, just the regular PMDG default, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to show you kind of the way we set up our panels. And we're getting ready for a cold and dark. So this is not, the intent is not to fly right now. You're just setting up your panel state for flight. That's going to go to auto. These are coming off. All that's good. We could keep this on steady. Everything else is good to go. And the last thing is we're going to go ahead and throw this to the now. There we go. Let's see. There we go. All right, and then we got to throw it on not armed. Let's turn off the ground power. Battery switch is coming off here. Ground power is coming off. And now you got a dark airplane. So what we're going to do is drop down to the FMC. I'll go ahead and go Alt-L, and then I'll turn our power on. I'm going to hold the menu key, and it's going to light this up. And then what I'm going to do is go to PMDG setup. I'm going to go panel state save, and I'm going to save this as 800. So I just do tail number and then 2 digits on 01. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. The panel state is ready to go, and it's saved now. And that, once it says saving OK, panel state saving. Okay. It's saved. So we've got a good jet. You can see we're on the gate now. Got no power on the airplane. Everything's off. So we're getting ready for the flight here. So what we'll do now is just a few things. One, you're going to want to go to your SimBrief downloader, and you could get this at SimBrief.com. If you go to navigraph.com under your accounts, you could download this, and I believe it's at SimBrief as well. And you're going to want to map the SimBrief flight plan, PMDG flight plan, and upwind link. It should do this automatically for you, or depending on where you installed it. I'm going to click export, and what that's going to do is going to export our flight plan into the into the PMDG aircraft. So now we have the flight plan updated, and all we have to do is recall it into the system when we go ahead and click start, or when we start it. Now from here, everything is ready to go for you to know. You got to know your airline systems and procedures and all that stuff that comes with flows. And at Coastal Airways, we give you your flows. After your training, you get through a whole bunch of flows. So I could take you through that right now and what that looks like. I am going to do a few things here on the back end to get going or to get working. So first thing I'm going to do is the Ava server. That right there for me, it allows me to use my iPad for the FMC. So I can use my iPad now to use the FMC, which is very nice, and we're gonna use that. So that's one of the things I use. Another thing that I'm going to use is vPilot, and what that's going to do is that's just going to pull up. I'm going to go ahead and click vPilot up here, and what that's going to do is enable us to use VATSIM on this flight. So I'll click connect. I'll put our flight number in there, and our flight number is 89 or 80. What was it? Flight number is 87. Now you don't have to do this per se. This is something that we use VATSIM on the airline all the time. And I already did a flight plan, but if you wanted to, you could just go click flight plan, and then it'll send you to a different website, and then you can, file your flight plan there. I don't have to because I already did that step. That's kind of one of the things I didn't show you, but anyway, you could do that right now, and you could get through that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and slide that out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And then one other thing I like to do, we don't need SPAT, but I do use GoFlight interface. And my GoFlight, again, whatever hardware you have to make sure it's on. That's all I'm doing right now is I'm making sure my hardware is going to turn on and get ready for the flight. It often takes quite a long time to get all this stuff up and running, and it's not as quick as you think it is. It takes a bit. Okay, I got 3 greens here, which means that we do have a successful launch. Good. So my panels, this right here means my panels are good to go. I'm ready. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop that out of there. I'll move that across the other screen so you guys don't have to see it all the time. And now I will open a few things. Real turbulence I use, and we're going to open self-loading cargo as well. Now, before I do that, I got to make sure that our park brake's set. So I'll go ahead and set the park brake. And that is it. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road, folks. I'll show you, I guess I'll show you the pre-flight. I do use a butt kicker as well, although it hasn't been working very well, and I don't know why. It's been very annoying. It doesn't like to use multiple outputs for some dumb reason. I just don't know why. So that's all right. Anyway. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and open our ACARS. Now, ACARS is what the virtual airline uses to process the data into the server. So, again, you might not have this feature if you're not with a VA, but now's a good time to start it up. And we're going to go ahead and do that. I'll click Start Flight. And it sends a code on where we're going. Good. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. All right. Now, we're in the aircraft with a cold in the dark situation. We've got pretty much all the peripherals on and working. Just going to make sure that should work. Okay, my throttles do not work, which could mean one thing, and that could be my assignments. So you just want to make sure your peripherals are working and your hardware is working, interfacing with your software. All right, first thing we're going to do is now we're going to do a flow or a procedure. And at Coastal, we have our flows that we normally do. And, each airline is different on how they operate their 737s. Some VAs or some airlines do it a little differently. It doesn't mean that, every airline does it differently is what I'm saying. So like Delta does it different than Southwest. They just do things differently. And that's okay. That is actually part of being in an airline. However, when you're flying for us, we have a certain way of doing things and we want you to do it the right way and our way, and that's kind of how it goes with us. So we are going to look for something I cannot find. You gotta be kidding me, right? That's interesting. All right, folks, so here are our flows here at Coastal, and they look like this. As you can see, we're going to do these flows, and each pilot gets a copy of these when you get hired for us. The first thing we're going to do is battery switch to the on position. Now, I could do this in my head, but I don't want to miss a step. Throw that to the on position. Then the next thing you're going to do is your fuel panel. So you're just going to make sure that they're all off, and in this case, they are. Then we're going to come over to your hydraulics, make sure your hydraulics are off, and they are. Want to make sure the electric pumps are off. These are the engine drivens. That's fine. The electric pumps are off. And then your air conditioning panel is set up. So our packs are off. We have recircs on auto, and our bleeds are on. Then we're going to drop down to the gear. Take a look at that. Gear down 3 is green. We're going to go to the AC meter selector, and we're going to do ground power. So you can take a look at that. We're there now. We're showing negative 38, 24 volts, 400, 116, and we are discharging on the battery, which is normal. Ground power to on. We're going to go throw the ground power switch on. Now, you won't see me actually do this because I'm going to use my panel here. There we go. You can see we've connected to the bus. Now we're good. Once the ground power is on, we'll do a fire overheat because we have AC on the aircraft. So we're going to come down here. We're going to throw this to fault and up. You should see 2. Good. And then let's go ahead and throw it on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 2 lights. Good. I just hit that one again. Check your squibs. That's just checked your APU fire and everything like that. We'll test a cargo now. Good. And then that is done. Then we're come up on the overhead panel. Now, we're not going to throw the APU on because we have ground services. We are going to come up to the aft overhead panel now and throw these lights throw the IRS systems to nav. We got to wait on DCs. You should see a line. And then a line, and then finally 12 is the electrical panel, so you want to make sure your electrical panel is good to go. We've got that on, and then ground power set. So we're set on that. EMER lights coming on, which is down here. Middle of the panel, throw those on. Good. Environmental controls. They are set and ready to go, and those are right here. Packs are off because we have external air on the aircraft. We're good to go. Recircs are on. We're doing pretty good, right? Drop right on down to the FMC. I'm going to go ahead and take this light off now. You can see where it says enter IRS position. So we'll go ahead and do that next. We'll enter the IRS position. We're not going to actually install the flight plan or anything. All we're going to do is just go in here. We're going to check. We are in an 800. The Iraq is is updated. Again, that's a Navigraph database. And we're going to click position initial. We're going to go Kilo MIA because we're in Miami. And then gate, we're at Gulf, I believe we're at Gulf 14, aren't we? Or close to it. Let's see what we got. Yes, that is correct. And then we're going to throw that position in the scratch pad and dump it right there. That's the only thing we need to do with the FMC right now. It's just enter the present position. Then we'll come down to our parking brake, make sure it's set, lights are on, and then wheel well, fire warning, verify. We've done that already. Now, the only thing we would do that is if we had to turn on the APU. That's the only step that's a little weird. If we didn't have AC, then we would do that now. We do have AC on. And I'm not talking about air conditioning. I'm talking about actual AC power. The next thing is do external light tests. So we're going to come up here and throw all of our lights to the on position. Let's see if it works on our panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Coming across. Taxi lights to the on position. Logo lights are on. Wing lights are on. Strobe and steady, anti-collision light, and then finally, wheel well light. And now, let's go ahead and do a walk around. So we're going to do this walk around inspection, and this generally will help us with, do the lights work on the aircraft. Okay, the taxi light is good, and then while we're out here, we're going to do our pre-flight as well. That looks good. Coming across, TAT looking good. You can see on the side of the aircraft up there. At those lights, looking good there. Oof, those lights are bright. Now a lot of guys just tap on the aircraft right now, let the captain know to shut those dang things off. They're pretty bright. Look at that engine, nice and new. Coming across here, fuel panels there. You see the strobe light on the ground, so you know that works. Take a look. Green light's good. You don't want to look at that because it'll blind you. We got beacon lights on both up and down on the aircraft. Got your tires. You check your tires, check your brakes. You look at the pins, make sure you're good to go. You stick your head into the wheel well. The wheel well light's on. Torque tubes looking good. Make sure all the hydraulics are not on the floor and they're actually in the system. We'll come over here, check our doors. Looking good there. Doors closed. Outflow valve is good. We'll check our elevator. Elevator's good. We got a light on here, strobe light. I thought I turned that on. Logo light should be on. I don't know. That tail light should be on, and it might not have turned on. I have to see what's going on inside. All right, check our wheels. Again, same thing here. Brakes are good. And I'm going to come across flat fairing, and aileron is good. We have our split scimitar winglets on this aircraft. So, strobes are good. Coming across, looking at the engine. Again, now all this helps with immersion, folks. I mean, you got to get in the habit of doing this. All right, check your engines and your fan blades. Make sure they look good. They do. Lights are good. They are on. I can tell. Lights the whole thing up. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and jump back in the flight deck now, and then we'll shut those lights off. And guess what? You have just performed a wing lights are off, logo lights are on, and then we'll throw the wheel well light off. That's it. We're done with that. Then we'd go right into our pre-flight flow, which I'm going to do right now. Now, before we do that, let's take a look at the time here. I've got 6:48. So there's one other system I'm going to use here. It's called self-loading cargo. I really like to use this application because it again enhances your immersion. Shoot, I'm going to have to do this twice. I screwed it up. Okay. Sorry. If I don't hit run as administrator, always try to do that when you're running programs. All right, let's try this again. We're going to be Airliner Interactive. I'm going to set up self-loading cargo just so to show you kind of how this looks. I'm going to come down here. We're in an 800. We have a 1 class configuration, basically set up like a Southwest aircraft. We're going to use pre-recorded. We're going to set up our flight plan. Now you can see it's going to pull in from SimBrief, Miami to Corpus Christi, and we are in CST, which is coastal. 32,000 on the top altitude. We'll probably go higher than that, but we'll keep it at 32 for now. Now this is where it gets wonky. If you're you take a look at the time, it's going to be check-ins closed. Wait a minute. Well, you got to come over here because it's pulling in real time, but you want sim time. So kind of flip this over, and the actual time in the aircraft right now is 10:49. We're going to be taking off at 11:20. So we're going to go 11:20. Oops. We're going to go 11:20 Zulu. You can see checking in is it's been open for 2 hours right now. Your flight leaves today. So that's how we know we've got a good deal here. We're going to click in-flight services. Now, the aircraft does not have IFE screens. Apply work in progress. We've got that. It is a low-cost medium haul. The cabin door, is the cabin door open or closed? Now, let's go ahead and check that right now. I've got no open doors at all. So let's go ahead and open a door. So just let them know that we got a door open and we're good to go. So that's what that is. It's telling us, let's go to here. We'll go to FS Actions, Doors. We're going to go ahead and open a door. And then I'm going to say the cabin door is already open. Once it says it's open, then we're good. We're going to click Start Flight. And it's going to start us up. And again, this adds immersion. I'm going to go ahead and open this whole thing up and then slide it over here. Okay, I got to answer a few things. Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Mexico chip, please.
It's loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. 5 over 5. Okay, Captain. Radio check, please. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive, and we're ready to start those.
Roger. Now let's go ahead and call the cabin. Hello.
Hi, Captain. How are you?
I'm feeling good.
Great. We're just getting ready for departure, but if you need anything else, just give me a call.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I'm going to call GSX here. And what I'm going to do is actually going to pull the clock back just a little bit. It's because we were setting everything up about right there. That's probably good for us. Let's go ahead and call the fuel truck now. Get in here. We'll call our fueler. We're going to actually get catering service on the aircraft first. So catering is coming, and then we're going to call the fuel truck as well. And then we're going to click Request Refueling. Refueling services are requested, it says. So we're good. Now the next pre-flight procedures, we're going to get the ATIS. So let's go ahead and get our weather. This is where the flying actually starts. Everything up to this point is just prep, and now we're actually going to start. So I'm going to go into my SimBrief, and I'm going to click Load or Import a Flight. You click Flight tab, Import Flight, and Import from SimBrief. And I'm actually going to pull in Miami to Corpus Christi. And it's going to actually dump the whole route into the app, and I use this on a separate iPad. But I can generally show you what that really looks like here. So I'll show you here, folks, right now. I can pull it up. Okay. So what I'm talking about is click the flight tab up here, and then I'm going to click Import Flight, Import from SimBrief, and then I'm going to go Miami to Corpus Christi. And what that's going to do is that's going to pull in our data now. And that's it. And you obviously say not now, or you can do whatever you want with that. Anyway, our flight is in. We're ready to go. Let's go ahead and take down a few items. Now I'm running I have to run a few things here when I fly. I have to run my logbook as well. I have a different iPad for my my charts. So you can see we're here and we've got catering getting on the aircraft right now. We are on the clock, so I'm looking at the clock. We've got to be boarding here shortly. Right after the fueler comes, we'll start our boarding. Okay, so let's get the weather first. Let's go to airports. We're going to go to weather, Miami, real. 47 minutes old right now. I'm looking at 040 at 11, gusting 22. So I'm going to write all this in to here. Miami is reporting what? 040 at 11, gusting 22. Visibility is 10 miles. We got scattered clouds at 039er, broken at 55. Got broken at 55, broken at 25. And that's 25,000 broken? Yeah, it's 25,000 broken. Altimeter is 2986. And the runways, parting 8 left, 8 right, 9 and 12. Probably going to be 8 right for us. And then gate Gulf 14. Now, I'd like to write all this down. And then Corpus, I'd like to get the Corpus airport of arrival that we're going to. Just a general weather will work. So go to the weather tab and then just in your Navigraph app and then pull in your weather. I'd like to pull in just a temperature, 66 degrees. Time, and I'll look at the time here for us, our SimBrief flight plan. I'm going to pull that up and show you. Time is about 2 hours and 52 minutes. So I'm going to say 3 hours. That was... Go ahead and open that door. There we go. Cockpit doors open now, so you can hear that difference in change. Clouds right now will be broken clouds, and ride is going to be pretty bumpy on the climb. So that's what I put there. That just helps us. It's good letting us know what's going on. We're going to go 8 right. Okay. Now, all that is done. We've got our ATIS. ATIS is done. Clearance, I would look. We do have Miami Center online. So I'm going to look to center, and it's going to be 135.175. So 135.175. It's going to scoop down here, 135.175. I think we can go up. $135, this one 175. We'll flip it over.
Left, clear for takeoff.
Front of solid 8 left, clear for takeoff, UPS 9.
Alright, so now I called for fuel.
Fly heading 180.
180, American 524.
Fuel truck's on its way. Good, that's what I want to make sure. And then I'm going to request boarding.
Miami Center, November, Papa Kilo 752. Can you verify that I have track 6 below me?
You're not supposed to be VFR? Squawk ident for me, please.
Go ahead, ident for November, Papa Kilo 752.
American 524, Miami Airport off your 11 o'clock at about 13 miles, reported for the time.
I think we got the airport inside, American 524.
American 524, clear visual approach runway 12.
Clear visual approach runway 12, American 524.
Miami Center, section 317, about 80 miles northwest of St. Petersburg, flight level 370.
Country 317, this is Miami Center, hello. And somebody else was checking in your block, say again.
JetBlue 2549, did you release it?
JetBlue 2549A firm, frequency change approved.
Have a good one, JetBlue 2549.
JetBlue 3280, expect the ILS runway 10 right approach, Lauderdale altimeter 2986.
Roger, expect ILS approach runway 10 right,
Altimeter 2986, JetBlue.
Obviously, he's getting busy here, so before I give him a call.
Number 313 Papa, the Boca wind 030 at 15,
Check.
25, runway 5, little in.
Runway 5, quarter land, is an altimeter for us?
The Boca altimeter 2985.
85, thanks.
Miami Center, Riptide 87, looking for PDC, please.
Riptide 87 coming your way.
So what I'm doing is I'm calling for a clearance, folks, just to get that clearance so we can get it and get that. Basically, we don't have to clog up his frequency. There it is.
Contact east of the Melbourne VR, descend via the Cuda.
So we've got it. It says departure, Miami destination, CRP. We've got Glad's 3 Shack. All that's good to go. Corpus Christi, 32,000, 2271 on the SWAC. So let's go ahead and do that right now.
Leaving 2,500 up to
2271. Okay, 2271. I'm going to get off his frequency for a minute just to help me communicate. So we've got our clearance in there, and basically there is no change with our flight plan. Our flight plan and our clearance looks good. Now I'm going to get in here and check a few things with our flight plan as we go. Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to get my nest ready for it. Fuel truck is, I believe, still on it. Yep, we're still gassing up. We got 1,600 gallons right now into the aircraft, and we are boarding the airplane right now. So trying to let the flight attendants know what's going on. Door status looks good. I think this is frozen. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is go into our paperwork, and I'm going to show you that our flight plan here. And we're going to kind of get in here. I wonder if I can make this bigger. There we go. All right, so a couple things. We're in flight 87. We're going from Miami to Corpus Christi. We do not have any alternates. Class 2, we know that. Planned optimum level, good on that. We are in 800, let's check. ATOG 163.8, and we're limited by landing. Again, Miami, Corpus, no alternates. We have 46 feet over Corpus. We're looking at 302 at 89, 3712, 320. Coming down to this, we've got route burn 17.5, dispatch, nope, can't hold, 35 there, FAR reserve, minimum fuel 24.7, minimum plan 27.3, maximum plan 27. I'm going to come over here and just do this little cross, and that's going to give minimum plan fuel 27.3. We're going with, minimum takeoff fuel, sorry, 24.7 on this side, and then over here we're doing 27.3 is what we want to go with, and then we want to land with 9.3. Okay, so that's kind of the fuel cross we'll do, and then we'll do the prog check when we get all of our fuel on the aircraft, and that'll look good. We're going to come down here. I'm just going to put my signature in there. And then you can see all this. You want to check your NOTAMs. Again, you got to get a pretty good idea on weather, so that's good. We're just going to look at NOTAMs right there. You want to look for any runway closures or anything else that could really throw you off. That looks good. All these NOTAMs are good over here. Coming across here, that looks good. Okay, check, 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 check,
All
check.
stations prepare to start boarding.
Okay, we're boarding now. I don't know what the heck. Everything else looks good on the NOTAM, so no major NOTAMs to worry about. All right, clearance is obtained. We're good to go. They're calling us. Go ahead.
Hi there. We now refuel the aircraft. We'll let you know when. Please.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, Captain. We've started boarding. Passengers are coming through now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so they're boarding. We have about 30 minutes or so before we're done. Let's go ahead and get into. We've got our ATIS clearance. Let's go ahead and get ready for the performance now. And I'm going to use my performance tool. You guys can use this one if you got it. I'm going to go ahead and click this. We'll pull on that data. Go ahead.
I can't fuel it. Please.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do, you guys can do this. I'm not going to worry about this too much, just because I'm not going to use this, but you guys can do the in the tablet on this one for the performance. Now I'm going to do VTP because that's what I'm going to use, but it's the same kind of thing. Departing Miami, runway is going to be 8 right. Conditions, we're going to go ahead and add those conditions in there. Dry, optimum, we're going to set the 26,000. Maximum's good. Flaps I'm just going to drive them to 5. Our takeoff weight, this looks, again, our paperwork, our takeoff weight is going to be right around 159.9. So I'm going to add that, 159.9. It's about 19 degrees, or excuse me, CG is about 19. We'll click calculate and see what it comes up with. Now for this one, you would just go, you can import from the OFP, Miami, you can flip your runway here, 8 right. You don't want to do this yet because you're not there. Or you are, actually. Let me go ahead. Go ahead. Import the weather.
Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we started loading. We'll send the final load sheet up once we're ready.
Roger. Thank you. Okay, so I'm looking at that. The weight was good, so everything looks pretty good. This is the same thing I just did on my end. All right. Trim, they're saying 5. And let's see what we got. ATM or cell temps at 43. What does the paperwork say here? They say cell temp 48. I'm going to use 43 because I'm going to use VTP for it. So I'm going to go cell temp 43. Flaps are going to be 5. I'm forcing flap 5 on this. Trim is going to be 6.25, so the trim's way off already. And then our V speeds 146, 148, 153. Very close to each other, right? 146 VR is going to be 148, and I'm writing all this down here. 153. So I wrote this down on our right here. You can see I just wrote all this down in our going through the motions here of getting ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Okay, so performance is done.
On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to both our returning and new passengers.
We got fuel on the aircraft, so let's take a look at that.
Kindly request that you stow your larger
And I'm going to just record the gas.
To ensure a clear and safe aisle for everyone.
To record the fuel right into here. That's what we're going to do.
For an on-time departure,
80,
we encourage you to take your seats as quickly as
86.30,
possible. Please
86,
fasten your
30,
seatbelt, ensuring they are low
10,000,
and tight across your lap.
210.
Fasten them snugly throughout the duration of the flight. As a friendly reminder, all electronic devices should now be set to airplane mode or switched off for the duration of the flight. Please also take a moment to familiarize yourself
There you
with
go.
the safety information card located in the seat pocket.
It was 27.4 on the aircraft. We need 27.3, so we have it.
During the flight, please don't hesitate reach out to one of our
Okay, folks, what we're going to do now is going to do a flow. Now, the FMC is not programmed, so what we're going to do is program the FMC. Drop in here, let's do this. We're going to click init ref, coming in our 0 fuel weight. Again, we wrote it all down, so 0 fuel weight is going to be 133.2. And we're just going to drop that right in there. Reserves are 5,000. Cost index is 30. We're coming in with fuel at 27,400. So by the time we're done, I'd say about 27,000, give or take. Okay. Cruise wind 320 for now. And then our winds 302 at 89. All right, we'll dump that in there. Outside air temperature, once we get up to that altitude, is plus 12. Or you can just dump in negative 37 degrees. Oops. Negative 37, I'm just going to dump it right over there. If it takes it, it doesn't want to take it, so... There he goes. Okay, and then N1 limit, you can flip it over to here. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't move any further than that because we got to go to route first. So we're going to go Miami to Kilo CRP, Corpus Christi. All right, CRP, and you're going to dump into the co-route. And what it's going to do is going to pull all that in. Flight 87. Runway is going to be departures. We're going to be taking runway 8 right. And we're taking the GLAS 3 departure right there, and looking like the shack transition. Okay, the arrival is none, so we'll just click route now. We're going to click activate. Now we'll execute it, and this is going to make more sense with the init ref. We'll click takeoff. Flaps coming in, and I'm sorry if I'm moving pretty fast, but this is this just takes rep and practice. Okay, we're looking at 46, 48, 153. So 144, I'm actually going to go to lower on that one. 148, I will plug in on this one. And then 153 on your V2. Go ahead.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now.
All right. Roger, thanks. All right, so what I'm going to do here, folks, is I'm going to... Gosh, I'm getting a call over the back. Hang on. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total sold count. Plus yourselves, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, thanks. I'll remove the jetway.
No problem.
When we're ready. We're not ready. Okay, so we've got this program ready to go. The FMC is checked. I've just looked at it. We're going sea salt deals, live. Sea salt deals, live, blart, selfie. Coming up here, all the way across. Anchor. From anchor. That's correct. We're going right in. So that's good to go. We'll click that now. When we're going to do a flight deck prep, we're going to do it right now. Jump on the overhead. Now we start moving quick. Check that. Come across nav. Good to go. Straight across here. EEX. Oxygen looks good. Flight recorder. We're going to go ahead and test it. You flip that. That looks good. You check your Mach airspeed. Both sides. Stall warning. Good. PSEU light is off, coming on down. Yaw damper's on. Now, do we do this only on the first flight of the day or any crew change? Coming down here, looking good. Crossfeed's coming open. Crossfeed's coming closed. Center fuel pumps on. I'm going to actually throw all my fuel pumps on because we're going to get ready to go here soon. Okay, seatbelts coming on. Coming up on the overhead. We're going to go cab utility on. IFE is on. Really doesn't matter because there isn't any. We're going to actually throw this to APU, because we're going to get the APU online here shortly. Then we're going to come down here. That is armed. That's on. Window heat is going to come test. So we're going to throw the window heat on. Watch all four drop on. Overheat. Drive it to the overheat. I'm then going to turn them all off, all back on, and that's how you reset that. Probe heat, you're just going to check. Lights are out, back open. You can check your engine anti-ice now and your wings. Just make sure their lights are open. Good. These actually won't do anything because of the valves. They're pneumatically operated. There's no pneumatics. We're going to go ahead and throw the pumps on. Good. Coming up here, supply is on. Coming across here. That's weird. I'm hearing a bird. Okay, we're going to drive this to overheat. You can see wing body overheat there. And good to go on that. Coming across. Flight altitude 320. We're only going to be at 40 feet, so 50 feet's fine. And then last but not least, on the right side here, looks good. Logo lights on, steady's on that. Good. Any questions? One thing I wanted to do is just test this right now. Just take a look on the overhead. Kind of what I should have done before. But once I'm on the overhead panel, I'm just kind of looking. As long as this gets done. It's kind of a weird interruption in the flow. But you want to kind of jump on that early because, well, if you have a problem, then that could be an issue. All right, we're going to go to the EVIS panel and the MCP next. So we've got dialed in 29086. Traffic is coming on. This is coming on, and flight director's on their side as well. Airspeed 153. Now, in our clearance, they must have given us a climb. They said, destination CRP, climb, blah, 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 altitude 320 squawk. So I'm guessing it's climb, 5,000 feet, top altitude. So we're going to bring this down to 5,000 right here. Good, set. Coming across, that looks good. Sorry. Let's drop down here. We're going to throw this to the on RTO. I'm just going to kind of take a peek underneath it. That looks good. Click reset that. Bring those in. Bring that in. Write your numbers in. We're doing good on time, folks. We're just running through this pretty quick. Oil quantity is 94/99. I'm just going to write that in my paperwork. And then hydraulics 100/100. Good jet so far. Okay, coming across, we've already tested those. Let's go ahead and test the autopilot annunciator. And we'll check our oxygen. Good. Coming up, looking at the trim, is going to be about 6.25 on trim. Six and a quarter. Good. Test 1. Good. Test 2. Good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Good checks over here. Coming on down. Let's go ahead through this. Standby. Click test. 0, 0. This is all set and ready to go. I'm going to shut the flood off here. And we got 3 pins on the aircraft. TCAS test was passed. We got a good jet, folks. Okay, back to the Miami frequency. And we are ready to go. Passengers are still boarding. I just closed the. They just closed the flight deck.
2355. Have yourself a nice evening. See ya.
Okay, time check is 11:06. So we are gonna go ahead and close the cockpit door. And yeah, I don't want that door.
Miami Center for American 655, what runway can we expect for arrival?
Last aircraft calling, say again?
For American 655, what runway can we expect?
Okay, here we go. Let's give you a brief. We'll give our passengers a good briefing. I always like to do that. And we will do that here in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight 87, nonstop service over to Corpus Christi, then on to Salt Lake. We have got, once we're airborne, about 3 hours, about 2 hours and 40 minutes or so, depending on headwinds up there. Corpus Christi weather right now, 66 degrees, broken clouds. Might be bumpy on the climb out here, so hopefully we can find some smooth air. We're out of flight pretty much, basically over the Gulf of Mexico and then right over to Texas. So sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Thanks again for watching the FSBN channel. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. Sit back, relax, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that's my little PA. I'm going to do a PA announcement here. We have no delays. Taxi time will be a normal. Departure weather is moderate. We should be a straight out departure. No en route delays. I don't see anything. Grounds have loaded. Thank you. And sit back. And that's it. What I'm going to do is just kind of lower my my lighting here. It's just a little too bright for my liking. So especially in these night departures, we'll definitely land during the day here. So the sun will be rising behind us. Let's just kind of lower everything. I've got a couple unruly passengers already starting. Okay, folks, so we've got a good airplane. We'll turn this way down. Okay, we'll run our checklist. And like I said, look at the clock, all right? We have 11:08. We are really looking good. 7:08, we're supposed to be pushed back at 7:20, so in about a few minutes we'll start the APU and we can rock and roll. Fuel pumps, we have fuel pumps are on and we've calculated our fuel at 27,400. Passenger signs, they are on. Window heat, on. Hydraulic pumps are on. Doors, the one door is still open. Pressurization is going to be set and auto. Yes, sure. As pressurization is set and auto. Auto brakes on RTO. Stab trim is set before start checklist is complete. So that is it for our checklist, folks. I'm going to go ahead and hit the lav before we go. And I'll jump in and we'll start this. We'll get a pushback going. All right, folks, so what we're going to do is start the APU, get the APU online. Oops, I might have screwed that up. I'm going to hit that twice. Okay, APU is coming online. Once the APU comes online like this, we're going to go ahead and call GSX, and we're going to tell them to prepare for push and departure. And then while they do that, we're going to go ahead and get the airport chart pulled up, and we're going to be typing in the frequency. It looks like a tower is going to be 118.3 for us today. So 118.3 on the tower. Looks like Miami is gone. Okay, 118.3. So hopefully, so far you're enjoying this content. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot going on here. And we are online right now. Let's go ahead and engage the APU. And we're going to hold off on the air conditioning until we can get that going. We've got everything online. We're going to go ahead and click return, and we're going to go to ground services. We're going to release the air conditioning cart. We're going to release ground power, and we're going to remove the chocks. Once the chocks are removed, we're going to go up here. We're going to click doors and close. And then we're going to throw the lighting on. The anti-collision light should be on. There we go. Once the anti-collision light's on, ground's going to grab it. And here comes the gate. Gate's out of the way. Here comes the cart.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Beautiful morning in Miami. Here comes the gentleman with the nose pin. Looks like ground crew is calling us. Go ahead.
5.5 pin inserted.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready to go now. All right, Roger. Basically saying the tow is connecting. We'll go ahead and
Locking gear.
Ground to cockpit.
go ahead.
Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to start it now if you haven't already.
Thank you, Roger. We got it. Appreciate the help.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Tow is connected. Release parking brakes when ready to push back.
Okay.
Cabin crew, please arm doors and cross check.
Miami traffic, American 655.
Okay, we're gonna push back. We're gonna go nose to the left.
Miami traffic,
Tail to the
American
right.
655, 7 mile final, runway 08 right.
Okay, we got somebody going on 08 right. We're gonna go ahead and write our timings down. You can see we're at
Parking brakes, please.
We're about 6 minutes early. That's okay as long as we document our time in. So I'm gonna write the time down for the push.
Parking brakes, please.
7:15 by the time we get out of here. They're gonna keep yelling at us until we release our parking brakes.
Release parking brakes, please.
You can hear them, right? They're pretty zealous with this. Okay, I want to make sure no tower's online. Okay, good to go.
Release parking
Gosh, shut up, dude, right? All right, we're good to go. We got flight attendants there. Doors are closed. That was the last thing on our list. All right, let's go for a push.
Release parking brakes, please.
Push back, brakes off.
Tow is attached.
Commencing push.
Stand by
All
while we
engines
adjust.
clear, start at will.
Okay, we're going to start at wheel. APU's online.
655, 3 mile final, runway 08 right. Miami traffic.
Okay, coming over the start. We're going to go to start number 2. We're going to go to ground. There we go. Let's go and check this out. Okay, number 2's on the ground.
Clear to stand, and you're free to start engine.
Okay, we're going to start number 2 first.
Roger.
You can see we're starting number 2. There's that aircraft coming in. Looking at 25. We'll go ahead and throw the fuel in. 25%. Here comes the gas. Gas is in. Wait for the light. There's the light. Looking for the oil pressure to come up. And then you would say oil pressure. And as we push back, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to TA. Now, I know I didn't go RAs because there's a known bug in this deal. I think they got it worked out. I might just go TARA and see if it works. Okay, good light on number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're going to go ahead and start number 1. Number 1 coming to ground. And we'll go ahead and isolate and ventilate. So we're going to isolate there, ventilate that. That's a nice push. Good pushback.
Please take a moment to locate the nearest
Please set your
emergency
parking
exit.
brake.
Okay, park brake coming set.
Keep in
Park
mind
brake
that
set.
the nearest exit
Please
may be
set
behind
parking
you.
brakes.
Count the rows to your nearest exit. This information may be helpful
25
in
fuel in.
visibility situations. In the event
Miami
of
traffic, American 655, take easy, runway 08 right.
times when seated. Whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated, please return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt securely. We
Unlocking
recommend keeping
gear.
it fastened throughout the flight whenever you are seated. If there is
I
a
got to
loss
light
of
off oil
oxygen,
pressure.
Oxygen masks will drop from the overhead compartments. Pull the mask down to start the flow of oxygen and cover your nose and mouth. Secure your mask before assisting others. Remember, oxygen masks are not just for adults. Be sure to help children and those needing assistance.
All right, we got a cutout there. We're looking for rollback.
Water landing, life rafts are available for your safety.
All right, we got rollback coming on the overhead here. On, APU's off.
Both the front and rear of the cabin.
I'm going to come up here.
In the event of an emergency,
Check our I'm going to lock this for you. There we go. We'll check our batteries all the way around the horn here.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Good, good, good. Propede is on. Thank you. Coming across, that's on. Auto, off. Drop down. Continuous, continuous. Taxi is coming on. Stand by. We got to watch this. Looking for the pin over here. So you see the gentleman with the pin. So we'll be watching him. He shows the pin. We'll flash the taxi light at him. Thank you. Okay. On the overhead, we'll go ahead and shut the lights off. Flaps 5.
Please feel free to ask one of our cabin crew members if you have any questions or require assistance.
There we go. Control check coming in. Looking good on both sides. Great. Taxi checklist, please. Okay, taxi checklist coming up. Looking good. Before attack generators are on. Propede is on. Yep. Flight controls are free. Flaps set. 5-5 green. Transponders on TARA. Let's go. Let's call them up. Miami traffic. Riptide 87. Taxi runway 8 right via Papa, Miami. Let's go, folks. Let's get the show on the road here. Let's go. Come on, airplane. Beautiful sunrise here. Okay, so we're going to take basically Papa all the way up. And folks, you won't have to watch the cruise altitude. I'll shut that off when we're through about 10,000 feet. Just kind of going through flows with you. Hopefully you've gotten something out of it. If you have, do me a favor, hit that like button. It's not, it seems like very overwhelming and it's a lot going on, but it really, it isn't that bad. I had to pull, once you start doing it, get some reps in there, it's pretty nice. Oh, I just want to do something really quick. I could smooth it out. Let's see if it's more smooth. Yeah, actually I have to do that really quick. We got to go back the other way, so I really want to smooth this thing out here. It was up in the 30 area. There we go. That's better. We're moving. We'll call the flight attendants and let them know here just shortly. I'm not doing a single engine on this one just because we have a lot of fuel. We're pretty darn heavy. I mean, at least for our purposes. If you haven't seen the livery, here it is. Take a little screenshot. I'm just going to kind of take a peek and see what we got here down low. Looks good. All right, now let's do our takeoff checks. We're going to come on the overhead, hit the attendant notification. And there they are. They're just calling me right now. We're going to bring up one throttle, back again. Check that. Looks good. Let's give them a call.
Hello, Captain. We're just securing the cabin for takeoff.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks very much.
You bet. By the way, flight attendants, please take your seats for takeoff. Okay, we're just letting them know to get, they're getting the cabin prepared. And remember, we're doing the GLADS 3 departure. So if we take a look here, oops, here and here, departure. kind of cheating over to that line here. Let's get over there. Should not be doing this with your heads down. Never a good thing to do. But there we go. We're going to be taking off over there and then up. That's kind of the route. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm going to set VNav on, LNav on, looking down here, and that is set primary IMC. Okay, checklist coming up. Takeoff config checked. Packs are auto, bleeds are on. Continuous. Altimeter set, recall complete. Takeoff check is complete. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? Now's the time. Just going to turn down the brightness of this puppy. All right, is anybody coming in on 8 right? I don't. We've got somebody up there. It's 5,700 feet, no problem. Miami traffic, Riptide 87, taking runway 8 right, departing to the west. Okay, looking clear on our side, coming in, lights coming on, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn-offs on. Coming across here, strobing, wing lights are on, we're ready to go, folks. Nobody's coming in. I don't see any targets. Verify 8 right. Once we line this thing up, we'll go auto throttle on here. We tap the brakes, slow it down. Auto throttle's on 8 right on the pavement, on the ND. I'm going to line up the aircraft, see if we can get good rudder. We do. Okay, you ready to go? Here we go. Up to 40, we're going to hold them. Wait till it stabilizes. 1, 2, 3, toga. We're going to do it again. Toga again. There we go. And takeoff thrust is set. $80 knots, cross check, looking good. Just a touch of right rudder. A little bit of wind coming in. We're go. We're going to just rotate a little bit. We're going to use a little more right rudder. A lot of right rudder, a lot of right rudder. And there we go. Gear up. Looking good right there. About 20 degrees. I do not want to go past that. That's our minimum that we can do. Looking good. Okay, 1,000, bug it up, please. What a beautiful sunrise, folks. Okay, flaps clearing, 2,000. Let's go flaps 1. Gosh, you guys are getting a good look out of that. Look at how pretty this is. My goodness. If I could just take a picture of this. It's just gorgeous. Flaps up. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click Control, Command, A. The autopilot is now engaged. We're going to hold, we'll hold about 246 right around here until we can get going. There's 3,000. We'll pull that up. Weird. That's coming off. It's just gorgeous, huh? Flaps are up. You can see it's going to level off at 5,000 feet. I just want to make sure we're clear of any issues, of any aircraft coming in. So that's why they keep us this low, because we might have aircraft coming in on the opposite direction. So let me just check and see. I don't see anything on the ND display in terms of traffic or anything. So let's go ahead and take a look at our map. And it's, here we go. Anybody coming in here? Nope, it looks like we're the only target around for a while, so we're going to be go ahead and cleared to climb. So we're going to start the climb here. I'm just going to lock this. We're going to start our climb again. Here we go. Let's go ahead and start our climb to 20. We're going to hold 250 here. Let's go ahead and start our climb all the way up. 32,000. Ready? We're going to go altitude intervene. That's going to take it. We're going to hold their speed at 250. Now we can accelerate a little bit. So the airplane starts the climb. Here we go. Getting into some weather. Definitely weather off the coast here. Once we hit live, we'll do our climb checks, and then we're going to be good to go. Anyway, folks, we hope you are enjoying this. Let me know, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It helps when you can subscribe more content like this. This is, hopefully it's beneficial. Like I said, now it's just the flying portion of it. I'm going to go ahead and call 122.8 here shortly. When we get a little through 10,000, we'll go ahead and release the flight attendants as well. I don't see any, looking at the radar, it's going to get better as we get higher, so maybe we wait through this cloud deck and then we'll call them up and release them. I kind of want them sitting down through this turbulence. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be bumpy up and top until we can get above this stuff. That's why it's so nice to have the Navigraph subscription, because I'm looking at the radar, and we never had that before. So there's 10,000 feet. I'll let the flight attendants know. Here they go. They're calling me.
Hi, Captain. No problem.
Just let her know. I'll call her back here. I don't know why she's calling me here. They're through 10,000 feet. Let's do a climb checklist. We're going to go through our climb flow. So we're going to come up on the upstairs, so the overhead panel here. And then we're going to kind of take a look. Pressurization. Check that coming across. We're going to actually turn both of these off. We don't need those on. Taxi light is coming off. And then I'm going to take the retractables and I'm going to throw those up. And now let's do our checklist. Coming through these clouds, I'll let them get up. Okay, climb, packs and bleeds. Auto and on. Pressurization checked. Start switches off. APU off. Flaps up, no lights. Climb checklist is complete through 13,000. Looks like the nasty stuff is pretty much behind us. And folks, I hope you enjoyed it. We've still got a whole nother descent, so get your favorite beverage and all that good stuff, and we'll probably call you if something happens. We got a 3-hour flight to do, and once we get to 15,000 here, I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed to 280. It's just what you want to do when you're kind of getting all bounced around, and not too bad, but we got to get through this layer of cloud, and then we'll I think once we break out of this, we'll pick it up. It should be pretty good. Smooth sailing from now on. Yeah, so I'm confident we're good. We're through 15. Let's go ahead and increase our speed to 280. And I'm going to call the flight attendants and let them do their job. Flight attendants, you can go about your duties. So I've released the flight attendants.
Ladies and gentlemen, good day. This is your flight attendant speaking from the cabin. We hope you're enjoying your journey
Where would she be
aboard
speaking
Coastal
from?
Airways. As we climb through
This is your flight attendant speaking from the
we'd like to
ground.
inform you about a few important aspects of our flight. Firstly, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to our valued passengers on board.
All right,
Your comfort.
looking good here. And we won't turn on those toggles. Oh, man, that's beautiful too. These are nice shots, folks. I mean, really nice shots. Can't get better than that. Gorgeous. Really pretty. Corpus Christi, here we come. I mean, I've never been there before, so I think once with Southwest, but that was it. One more shot for the ages there. All right, folks, what I'm going to do is once we hit 18,000, now it's pretty calm, so I'm going to go ahead and close this airspeed window by hitting speed intervention. What that's going to do is you can see how it's going to increase our speed to 320 knots. It's perfect. If you were getting in the bumps, you would want to slow down a little bit, but it's looking like we're going to be out of this garbage. So there's 18,000. We're going to go standard, and then we will shut off the rest of our lights. Those two are staying on. Wing is off, and logos are off. That's it. Folks, we'll see you at descent. Here, just about 150 miles top of descent. We'll jump on, and I'll show you kind of how we prepare for the landing. All right. All right, crews, welcome. We are on the about 104 nautical miles top of descent here. Just a few things we're going to want to do is get the weather into Corpus Christi, and a nice uneventful flight. We stayed at 32,000. There's really strong jet stream above us, so I elected to stay a little lower, burn a little more gas, but we had a smooth ride. I really even have to turn on the seatbelt signs to tell you the truth. So things going good. In terms of that, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but we're doing pretty good. The passengers are getting looked at with flight attendants and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and get the weather here. It's a good idea to get the weather. This is an unfamiliar airport, so the weather still holds supreme right now. I'm just going to get it winds 140 at 24, gusting 32. It's going to be bumpy. 10 miles visibility. We got a few clouds at 22, broken at 37. Overcast at 25,000. Temperature 22, dew point 19. Altimeter 2954. That is what we're looking at in terms of today. So, what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is a few things. We're going to come over to here. Now, I'm going to use VTP. You guys will use whatever you have for your performance data. So we're just going to throw in the performance tool. We'll do takeoff, landing, and route. We're going to click import. You can say Corpus Christi. We're going to throw runway 13 on board. I'll do this one, and then I'll do my VTP, and we'll see which one's a little more restrictive. We'll import the aircraft details. Weight's going to be 143. Are we under? You got to look at that. Are we under the maximum landing weight for the aircraft? And that's a big deal. So you got to check that right now. Make sure you are. Maximum landing weight 146.3. So we're 3,000 pounds under it. So that's good. Landing flaps will be 40 on this one. We got a lot of winds. I'm expecting wind shears. We'll talk about that. Anti-ice is off. Reversers, I'm going to do all operative. Auto brakes 3 for now. We'll see how that goes. Non-normal conditions. We have to add wind here. We have to add a wind additive because of the wind, right? It's gusting 32. So, the flight attendant's calling me. It's gusting 32, folks. So what we've got to do is we're just basically going to add 15. Hang on. Let me get this. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Would you like a drink?
No thanks.
Tea, coffee, or water?
No thank you. I'm good.
No problem.
Okay, so we're
If you
gonna.
change your mind, just give me a call.
All right, I'm gonna add 15 to this. I want to come over here and add 15 on the ref because that's half the gust. We'll click import the weather so you can see that, and then we'll click calculate and tell you what we got here. It's saying ref is 156 with the landing distance required of 6,100 feet. Now, that's this one. Let's go ahead and use VTP and let's see what VTP spits us out. I like doing both. So I'm going to click landing en route. Airport search is going to be Kilo CRP, which is Corpus Christi. Maybe it's not entered into the system. Nope. It's Casper. All right. So I'm going to have this one in there, I think. That's a bummer. Wonder how I can do that. Anyway. So with that in op, we'll just use the numbers that we got from PMDG's tablet here. We're going to do 156, runway 13. We're doing 156 knots, and landing distance available 6152 for runway requirement with auto brake 3, and we've got landing distance available of 7,500 feet. Whew, flap's going to be 40 on this one, and yeah, it's going to be a spicy approach. I'm expecting gate 2 when we get in there. Just kind of give you the rundown on the charts and see what we've got here. We're going to do arrival. There are no arrivals here, so we'll end up just going to approach. And we're going to do the RNAV Zulu approach to 13. I'll go ahead and plug that in there, and we will turn on the day, and we're going to go full screen it. I'll show you what we got. We're going to go ahead and straight from Anchor to Copen. We're headed there now to Copen. Once we get to Copen, we're going to start that turn down, and we'll start descending. So a few things. You've got 3, 4, and 5 here. Procedures not authorized for arrivals at Copen on Victor 2070 Northeast bound. RMP 50 is required. RF legs are there. So we're going to go ahead and hit Yahak, Itoni, and then we're going to zip down into there. This is going to be a real short runway here, looking at 3 degrees on the glide slope, so normal there. DH is about 348. TA is 394. Looks like RVR is 3,000 or 5/8 mile. We definitely have the visibility. You can expect bumps here. It's going to be bumpy. 2200 on the MSA, and we're looking at a frequency here of tower 119.4. So I'm going to go ahead and zip that in there so we have it. And folks, like I said, I haven't been to this airport, so I couldn't tell you much in terms of what's going on, but let's go ahead and take a look at we've already pinned that in there, so let's go ahead and pull another chart up here. There, we're going to go to airport. Let's talk about a landing, airports, and gates, and we're going to lock that. It's a 10-9 page usually. Yep. Okay, so we're going to zip in here. All right, we're going to land 13. It's going to be gusty and windy. Maybe we can get off Bravo 3. I doubt it. We're probably going to head to Bravo 4, make a hard turn. Terminals up there. We're looking at possibly Terminal 3 or Gate 3 on this side, or Gate 2, depending on how far away from these buildings we are. We might have to go 3, 3A, 3B. We'll find out. Maybe it's 5, 4, 6. Take your pick. It could be one of those. We'll have to see when we get down which gate we want to use. Just the runway, that's where you could get. Maybe you can get off on Bravo 3. Pretty aggressive on the braking, and then Bravo 4. This is an 800, so we're not going to mess around too much, folks. I'm just going to plan it on the runway. It's not about style points today. It's about stopping. Okay, so remember that. You know, everybody's like, oh yeah, you want a smooth ride. Nope, you want to actually stop the dang airplane. Okay, we'll go ahead and day mode here. And you can see we're so close to the airport, and here we are. And there's our Navigraph map here. We're just passing into Houston. Houston's not online, so we're still on 22.8, And that is it. Let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to go auto brake 3. Set. We got Copen up there, 3,000 legs. Looking at what? Whoa. Looking at 3,000 here. So let's set this to 3,000. Sorry, I got my unruly passengers inside here. Stand by. All right, folks. How to get that door, and a door barking, and dogs barking, and everything else. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and we are VFR, so what we're going to do is come down, and we're going to get this thing going. It's going to be the fixed page, so we're going to take this RW13, you're going to dump it into the scratch pad, go to the fixed page, dump it right over the top. Now this is a really good technique to use to keep your energy management alive. We're going to go /15/5 and then /3. And what this is doing, this is putting miles rings around that waypoint. And that really helps us visually. You can see on the ND here, we have rings around the ND there. You can't see it now, but you'll see as we proceed closer. We have rings around there, and that those rings are going to help us really dissipate the energy on the aircraft. Expecting some bumps here right now at 30,000 as we start getting a little closer to this front. Expect some bumps through here. It's been a very benign flight so far, nice and easy over the basically over the class 2 operations here, which is oceanic ops. I will turn off my lighting just because we don't need it. It's nice now, so we can turn the lights off. And we'll turn these lights off too. Probably helps a little bit on the frames, I would assume, huh? In the sim though, like in the real thing, you want these lights on because you can't see a thing. So there's not enough natural light, so you gotta always keep your lighting on. So we're set to 2,000 or 3,000 here. We're going to direct to Copan. You can see that just slightly above Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi Airport, 115.5. So I'm going to go ahead and tune that 115. Oops. 115.5. There we go. Oops, wrong. And hopefully that'll give us, you see how it just did that right there? That's going to give us a mileage, if you will, about 110 nautical miles to Corpus Christi. And let's look at the RNAV, the RMP again. It is going to be an inbound course of 132, so let's set this to 132 inbound. And you can kind of see we're going to be heading, where that green dash line is on the ND. That's where we're going to be heading over there. And I want to try to see if I can move this for you. There we go. I'm just sliding it over a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better, maybe. Maybe not the whole thing, but you can get some of it in. There you go. So it's not so much cut off on you. Sorry, I had to center that up. They're still going to the bathroom back there. They won't be for long, because I'll be sitting them down pretty quickly, anticipating this weather. About 2 hours and 26 minutes right now, airborne. With about 30 minutes to go or so. Beautiful day here. Just a little windy. Kind of expected. What a beautiful paint. I'm just telling you, it's beautiful. Really nice paint job here. I hear the engines spooling down, which means we're on our way down. Here we go on the descent, folks. Let me do a briefing. Folks, from the flight deck, we're starting our way down from cruise altitude here of 32,000 into the Corpus area. Weather right now, Corpus Christi, again, 66 degrees. We've got broken clouds. It's pretty windy down below, so it might be bumpy. We're going to go ahead and sit the flight attendants down pretty early. Thanks again for watching the FSBN channel. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button if you haven't yet, or hit the like button. That helps us. Okay, right now, seatbelts coming on. Thanks. All right. Okay, we're on our way. So what we'll do is we'll call the flight attendants up here at about 20,000. We'll sit them early. And I would have already talked to them about that and said, hey, let's sit down pretty early for this one. Okay, 119.4 is on the back end, 122.8 right now, so we're good on that. We're heading down the chute into a little thing called Corpus Christi. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that's cool. Where is that? Huh. Anyway. So hopefully you folks, it's a 7,500 foot runway. That's pretty short. Just a few things that you want to be aware of. Like, now's a good time. You know, when you're at cruise, a good time to plan. It always is a good time to plan at cruise altitude. You never want to plan. You know, now's not a good time to plan. But let's take a look at some crosswind. Now, the cool thing is we got a crosswind component 35 knots. It's blowing at... why are these dogs barking all the time? It's blowing at 13... What did I say the weather was? I'm expecting an update here. Corpus Christi is... Weather... Not update yet. 140, so only 10 degrees off the nose. That's pretty darn good. Anyway, let's take a look at some crosswind component stuff that we would take a look at. So we can go crosswind landing. This is what you would want to do in your cruise altitude, is just get familiar with the approach. Crosswind landings. You have decrab during flare, you have touchdown and crab, which they recommend if it's you don't have to be decrabbing. The problem is we have a split scimitar winglet on this aircraft, which means we can only drop 8 degrees. So split scimitars are really tough to decrab. So we might want to go, and we've got a caution here. It says for aircraft, now this is from the Coastal Airways Operations Manual. It says for aircraft with split scimitar winglets, bank angles greater than 8.8 degrees will result in lower eventual striking the ground. To ensure sufficient ground clearance, do not use a side slip or wing low crosswind landing method alone when crosswind exceeds 15 knots. Now, we have we're gusting 32 or something like that. It's only 10 degrees, but it's still a crosswind. Let's talk about, we don't want to do wing low. I like doing a side slip. I like doing a crab. or decrab during flare. The objective of this technique is to maintain wings level throughout the approach, flare, and touchdown. On final approach, a crab angle is established with the wings level to maintain desired track. Just prior to touchdown, while flaring the aircraft, downwind rudder is applied to eliminate the crab and align the aircraft. This is what I usually do when I'm flying the airliners. I'll do a decrab like that and then drop the wing. The problem is you can only do 8.5 degrees before you strike the winglet, so you got to be really careful. Hold wings level, sign tips, application of airline control into the wind. The touchdown is made with the crosswind controls at both gear touching down simultaneously. So looking at 140, it's coming in. It's going to be coming in from the right, so basically from the south side, blowing up. Touchdown in a crab. The aircraft can land using crab only, 0 side slip up to the landing crosswind guideline speeds. On dry runways, upon touchdown, the aircraft track towards the upwind edge of the runway while decrabbing to align with the runway. Immediate upwind airline is needed to ensure wings remain level. Rudder is needed to track the runway centerline. Okay. It is not recommended when landing on a dry runway and a strong crosswind. So they do not want to touch down in a crab on a strong crosswind on a dry runway. Slippery runway landing aircraft using crab only reduces drift. Okay. So, you know, you probably, we might have to do this slight wing low, kind of like our normal deal, but we'll probably put it down pretty hard. Pretty firm touchdown today, folks. I'm not going to really mess around with it. We'll do a decrab during flare, normal. We'll just kind of keep the wings a little on the upside. Side slip only, where 0 crab landings are not recommended. Crosswind components at X of 17 knots. F flaps 15, 20, and 30. Or 40. Okay. Reduce side slip only. We don't do side slip only landings here. Yeah, the 3 methods of performing crosswind land are decrab, that's what we use. Touchdown in a crab, we don't like that. And side slip technique. Whatever crab is maintained during a crosswind approach, offset the flight deck on the upwind side of the center line. Right. So we'll get that all worked out. But it looks like we'll do a decrab and go from there. Alright. We definitely want to put it down pretty quick. Like I said, I'm not going to mess around with any of that. We got auto brakes set to 3, so I'm not going to worry. I have to really worry about, oh crap, we got to get this, stopped. I mean, I am going to worry about that, but I'm going to let the auto brakes take over, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so we're starting our descent down. We're 19,000 here. The seatbelt signs are on. I'm going to call the flight attendants now and tell them to prepare the cabin. Flight attendants, prepare the cabin for landing. Okay, so I have them getting ready to go. And we are heading over to... Why are these dogs barking all over the place today?
Beginning our descent, and we kindly ask for your attention as we prepare for landing. Please ensure that your seatbelts are securely fastened and your seatbacks are in the upright and locked position. Please stow away all tray tables and ensure that your personal belongings are safely stored either in the overhead.
Okay, here comes 18,000. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights.
This will help us maintain a clear and unobstructed aisle as we approach our destination. In addition,
Okay.
we kindly request that you gather any remaining trash or items you no longer need and hand them to the cabin crew members as they come through the cabin. This will assist us in keeping the cabin clean and tidy as we prepare for the next leg of our journey. As a reminder, electronic devices should remain in airplane mode until after
2954.
larger electronic items, such as laptops, should be safely stowed away as well. We appreciate your cooperation in ensuring a safe and efficient landing process. The captain and the entire crew would like to express our gratitude for choosing to fly with us today. We hope you've had a pleasant flight and look forward to serving you again in the future. Thank you for your attention, and we'll be on the ground shortly.
Okay, so I'm going to set this to 46 feet, which is basically the it's the elevation. and then we'll do our descent right now. I'm just going to do a flow here. I'll just verify. We're going to go flap 40, and we're going to take 150. What do we say? Correction of 15. Yeah. All right, let's do our flows. We're going to come up on the overhead here. That's good. These are coming on. So flow first. Pressurization's dropping. Looking good. Coming in. Here we go. Altimeter's set and checked. VRF and V target set and ordered. Auto brake is on 3. Start switches are on continuous recall checked. Checklist is complete. Descent checklist is complete, and we are working on 180 knots at iTony, which I'm looking at the legs page now. You can see we got Copan, then Hayek, then iTony, and our restrictions are there. Okay. So far, so good. I'm going to go ahead and throw this over here, click this to return, and then I'll leave it on this page because when we land, we can go ahead and put ground services on. So we're at plus 14, so we don't need any anti-ice. Passengers are saying they're very thirsty. Cabin is not secured. I'm probably sure they're walking it right now. Here's our cabin. You can see, I can't really zoom in on this. It doesn't get any bigger than this, but anything is green is good to go. The reds are, they're securing the cabin. They're getting it ready, so that's good. All good stuff. All right, we've got one more leg after this, and then we're done. We won't do it though. We're gonna go Salt Lake. You'll see that, just a quick, maybe an hour video. I'll show you the pre-flight departure and the descent landing. Cut out the cruise portion, just like kind of this one. I wanted to show you the A through Z on this flight, just to show you what you could do, what we're capable of doing with these study level sims. Are truly amazing. It doesn't have to be a study level sim either. You can do this in a in a GA aircraft, or keep it really cool like that. I'm going to turn on the terrain functionality is coming on. About 34 nautical miles from Corpus. You can see that first 15 nautical mile ring that we were talking about before. That's where we're going to have to start slowing the aircraft down after Copan. And I'm going to go ahead and flip it over to 119.4 right now, which is going to be the Corpus Christi CTAF frequency. We're plus 19 degrees. I can't see anything on the weather radar. I mean, at least on the aircraft. I can see on our Navigraph display what it looks like. And Corpus's radar is showing clear, just some clouds, which no big deal. Some light stuff coming in from the west is heading here. Some thunderstorms to the north of us, but so far so good. Corpus Christi looks like Class Charlie airspace. I think I pretty decent flights here. Here comes 10,000. We're gonna have to start slowing down. We're gonna be in the soup here shortly, folks. 10,000, attendant notification is coming on. The aircraft's going to slow down. All right. I wonder if that attendant notification is the call button, because every time I hit it, I hear the phone ringing. That's probably what it is. Let me see. Let's do a little experiment. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna cancel.
Hello, Captain.
No, I'm kidding. You're good.
No problem.
So I'm gonna use this from now on, the chime. Just let them know we're through 10,000. I'll have to map that over on the other one, my other button. All right, so you can see we're 10,000 now. We're nice and easy, slowing down. You can see the puffiness of these clouds. It's going to be interesting as we get in. 29054. I am going to set up for the, it won't be an HGS approach, by the way, but it's going to be a VMC approach, because I'm going to pop out. I swear I didn't hit anything. Hello.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured for landing.
Okay, be seated, please.
No problem.
We get the flight attendants
All
seated early
landing, please.
before we really get into the bumpiness. I'm expecting some rough weather here. I'm looking for a weather update to 140, 19 gusting 30 knots. Yeah, baby. 10 miles visibility, scattered at 1600, broken at 3000. So we got the ceiling at 3000 feet. We're plus 21, so no problem there. Here comes the lights. Our retractables are coming out through 10,000, which where we get dinged if we don't do that. All right. You can cool down the cabin too. You know it's going to be bumpy down here, so one thing we want to do is cool the cabin. This is another good trick to use. It helps the passengers not get so airsick. You're getting that turbulence and it's hot. It's just not a good experience for anybody. Okay, altimeter's bug, set cross strap VREF and V target set in order. Auto brake on 3, required. Start switches, they're on continuous, and then recall. Recall complete. Here we go. We're in the soup. Probably won't pop out until we see 3,000. Couple layers here. Yep, I'm feeling the bumps already. And the butt kick. I got a butt kicker on my seat, and I just feel it starting to beat me up. Yep, sure enough, getting those clouds, and here we go. Let me call them up. Corpus Christi traffic, Riptide 87 on the RMP Zulu for runway 13 at Copen. All right, you can see that 15 nautical mile ring. We're going to start slowing the aircraft down a little bit. We're starting our descent into the area. Once we get into that 15 nautical mile ring, it's going to be pretty darn wicked down here. Here comes the HUD. That's just going to help us. Now, it is in VMC mode just because we're going to pop out about 3,000. We should grab it. It's going to be a visual landing all the way in from there, but you can see we can start slowing the aircraft down right now. Anything between the 15 and the 5 nautical mile ring, we're going to want to start slowing it. But I'm going to go ahead and open the speed window here and start dialing it down. Just about 220 right there. I could throw brake out right now, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna let the aircraft kind of naturally slow it down. If I can, I could throw out some speed brake. I might be able to, because I do not foresee a level off anytime soon. And this is an 800, so you want to be on top of the 800. There we go. I'm just gonna just slow it down, get it down to 220. Yeah, it's moderate. It's going to be moderate. Moderate chop here. It's ugly. All right, here we go. Yep. Yippers. You can consider dropping flap 5 and just starting to slow the aircraft down, which is not a bad idea. So I'm going to do that. It's going to help us control the speed. And then I'm going to slow it down to about 190. There we go. So I'm letting the flaps come down naturally here, just helping us get that drag in there a little bit, help us slow it. We can still use speed brake with flaps at 5 like this. Okay, it's just going to help slow the aircraft down, give us a little more management on the energy, because we are on a RIP approach. You don't want to come zipping down here like crazy. It's too bad I can't record this. I might be able to, but I run that risk. Maybe we are. We'll see. Okay, I've got 3,000 coming. Maybe we do get a level off here. I'm going to click this, and I'm just going to say CRP. Now it froze like that because it's starting to record. So let's see if it works. I always hold my breath. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now look at all those wind farms down there. Pretty cool. So we're at 3,000. You can see the speed coming down. Nice. We're clear for the approach, so we're going to go to 0. Zero out the altimeter. Now we're obviously in visual condition, so I'm looking for the airport. I got it in sight, and you can see the airport just above this. And we could take a peek and a gander there. You can say, all right, we're at 190, looking good on speed. Looking good on speed. Looking good on speed and altitude. So a little bit of a drag getting in, but that's okay. When we hit the 5 miles, we'll throw the gear down. We'll get flap 15, and then we'll start slowing to 15 speed. Yeah, this is right on the water, so you expect all this wind and craziness going on here, and that's what we have. You can see it right there. Now there's 2 airports, so you got to be really careful. Looks like it's going to be not that one. The runway is not even facing that direction. It might be just beyond that. There it is. I think it's right. It's not right on the water, but that's pretty cool. All right, here we go. This is a little resort town, Corpus. See the city out there. That's gorgeous too. Let's hit a picture of that. Clouds and everything, pretty. All right, back to flying, Jason. What are you doing? All right, get ready for the gear. We're doing good, folks, so I don't really mind. There it is. I see the runway. There's the airport. There is the airport. Taking a look. Look at it, 43 knots right now. Nice. Okay, we're basically at that 5. Here comes the gear. Here come the flaps. Flaps 15. We're going to slow it. Flap 15, maneuvering speed. Get your cool look. Okay, gear down, and you can see we're coming down nice. If we have to do a missed approach, basically it's straight out 2,000, making the way here. Okay, we're at 5 nautical miles. Here we go. Let's go ref, and we're setting it to ref at 156. Right there, flap 40. Landing checklist, please. Speed brakes, arm, green light. Landing gear down 3 green, flaps 40 green. Landing check is complete. Let's go ahead and give him a call. Corpus Christi traffic, Riptide 87 on final, runway 13, Corpus. Okay, lights are on, we're good to go, ready to land. Flaps are out, getting bounced around. I will take over here shortly once I line it up. Looks like this is odd. Doesn't do RF legs. RF legs are basically a radial fix, or radius fix if you want to call it that. Go the other way, airplane. Alright, see, this is when, okay, I was just going to say, this is when I had enough, I'll take over. You can see we're pushing that upper range of the flap. As we get to final, 1,000 feet, I'm going to take over. So my airplane here. We're going to keep that speed in there, just because I'm just going to take a look, kind of see that's 35 knots right there. I'll push my seat up. Ooh, there's the, whoa. I don't want to go too crazy here with it. Okay, flaps coming up, speed's coming up.
Traffic.
It's off scale. Push the speed, there we go. So a little bit of a buffer here. Remember I said it's not going to be too far off the runway, it's about,
500.
check. And you don't want to chase airspeed because of the gusts. So it's looking good right here, just slightly off the center line. Speed's in. This is why we gave ourselves a little buffer on the wind here. Okay, looking good. I'm going to keep that speed in there. Looking good. You don't want to get too low here. So I kind of want to be on the line. Don't worry about your airspeed. Looking good. Remember, I'm going to probably pancake this thing down.
50. 30.
Little bit of speed. Hold it. Rudder. There it goes. Airline into the wind, please. 20 knots. Well, it's good. I'm glad you said that. Reversers, B-brakes. It's pretty much up and down the runway, folks. We got lucky on that. Welcome to Corpus Christi. Let's go ahead and get on the brakes. All right, out of reversers. And that is how it's done, I guess. We lucked out with a good wind for us, right up and down the runway pretty much. We didn't have to do much here. Bravo 3 on the exit. So we're going to go Bravo 3, nice high speed here. And let's clean it up. So that's coming up. We're going to clean up our flaps. That's off, that's off. That's off. Lights are coming off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brakes. 5, 6. Taxis on, off, off. Off. Just a really big turn here. Looking good. Hang on. Auto brake. Okay. Corpus Christi traffic, Riptide 87, clear of the runway 13, Corpus. All right. So I'm going to taxi down Bravo here, Bravo to hotel, hotel into the gate. Don't know which gate we're going to use. One thing I need to do, shut the wing lights off. Good deal. This is Bravo Echo, it's the next one, hotel. Nice. Let's get back in the jet, because I don't want to miss my turn. There's hotel right here. APU's coming online. All right, folks, where do we want to park this thing? Any ideas? Maybe the other side. This is 3 up here. Seems a little close to that building. Look at that windsock. Yeah, that'd have been a nice spot right there. 5 or 4 on this side. Nice little airport. I like it. This is done by Fly Too High. I recommend it. I mean, it looks really, really nice. Did a beautiful, phenomenal job with it. Yeah, we'll come around here, and APU's coming online. Tapping the brakes. Let's plan 4, which is, well, let's plan gate 2. Let's see if we can't line this thing up on the right profile. All right. There's no gate 2. There is a gate 2 here, but weird. It's all right. We'll have to line ourselves up to it and then do the configuration when we're done with that. Okay, we'll shut down number 2 here. We're gonna keep going. Keep going. Hit the brakes. Brakes on. Okay, brakes on. We'll go ahead and shut down number 1. Number 1's on the close. Seatbelts. Alright, seatbelts off. And a collision light will be coming off here shortly. Let's go ahead and get the ground services connected. And I'll tell the flight attendants to, they already did. Okay, that's off. Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Roger. Hi, Captain. Would you mind turning off the taxi lights? They're a little bright for us.
Oh, yeah. I forgot it was on. Sorry, buddy.
Thanks for that, Captain. Next time I'll need to remember my sunlight.
Well, it's sunny. What do you expect? All right, we're at gate 2 here at Corpus. It's kind of a weird looking thing, isn't it? Plenty of wingtip request ground power. Yes, let's get the ground power in there. I'm going to call for that, and we're going to request air conditioning unit. So when we get the unit in there, we'll have to wait, and then we can deplane them. So they're clear to deplane. I'll let the flight attendants know. Clear to deboard. We're going to go ahead and request deboarding, which should get the airplane hooked up, ready to go. Cleared. We have ground power hooked up. Sure is. We've got a green light, a red light, a blue light, whatever that is. And let's go ahead and throw the APU off, stop burning fuel. We got to write our in times, and they should be opening the doors here shortly. Doors should come and open. Doors are open. Good. They can start deplaning. We've got that off. Coming across here. Hydraulics are coming off. We'll open the door and say goodbye to our passengers.
Disarm and cross-check doors. Stand by for all call. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at our destination, and
Pack's
the cabin
coming
crew
off.
has opened the doors. As the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, remember to gather all your personal belongings, including items from the seat pockets and the overhead compartment. We would
Okay, we're
like
at
to take
gate
this
2.
opportunity to thank you for choosing Coastal
We're in
Airways
at
for your journey
1416.
today. Your presence on our flight is valued, and we hope you had a comfortable and enjoyable experience.
Got
Whether this is your
89.
final destination or you are connecting to another flight, we wish you a safe and pleasant onward journey. Thank you for your attention, and
100
once
over
again,
100.
thank you for flying with Coastal Airways.
All right, perfect. So the last thing we're going to do is get this aircraft prepared for the next run here, which is going to be to Salt Lake City. It's another about 2 hours. We have a break here for an hour, which is nice, and then we're heading out. Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. All of the passengers have been offloaded.
Oh, that was quick.
Just
That was
give me
really
a buzz
quick.
if you need anything.
Thank you.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead. See, you're busy right now.
Let's remind you to use the software to track your virtual airline flight. You may want to find live your flight.
All right, perfect. So they're saying, hey, we got to book the ACARS. So that's what we're going to do right now. There's our ACARS system. We're going to go ahead and do this, file the flight. It's now in the books. We're going to exit self-loading cargo. So last thing we're going to do is come down over here, and then we're going to throw that to standby. The door would be open. We pop the door open, and that is it. We have about an hour layover here, just because it kind of gives us a little break. We've been flying, sitting down forever, so plus there's another 3-hour flight to Salt Lake City. So a couple things we want to do. Want to jump in here really quick, and we want to go to payload, and it's going to go ahead and just set it. I'm just going to set it as empty and just get everybody off the airplane. And I'm going to go ahead and click menu. We're going to go to actions. We're going to see panel state save. Remember I said it was 800 01. It's going to be 02. And when we start up, we're going to start up with 800 02. And this way it's going to give us, you know, the panel, the fuel, the whole 9 yards, which we want. Okay, so good, successful ride here. Look at our fuel load, 4870, nice and high, 5,020. It's a lot of fuel to land with. So, what, 9,800 pounds or so? Wow, pretty good. I mean, that's basically tankering for the next ride up into Salt Lake. So hope you enjoyed this run. Really cool. I love how the Southwest gear is here. We got to get everything set up. You know, we got to get everything set. That's what I'm saying. Back to configured. Let's go ahead and check the airport. That's one thing I like to do is get outside. Let's take a look at a good review of Corpus Christi if you've never seen it. I haven't been here in a long time. Matter of fact, I haven't seen this airport since the Fly Too High update. So let's go inside the terminal and see what they've done. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. They've done a good job. So far, obviously not a big terminal, and you wouldn't expect that here anyway. So this is gate 5. This is gate that went right through here. So we'll have to remove these gates and go with the standard. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Corpus Christi, Texas, Fly Too High. Pretty neat. There's gate 1. There's some cowboy boots. Pretty slick. There's somebody right there, and that's it. You're out of the ticketing. You're in the ticketing already. Pretty sweet. They did a good job. Let's check this out here. Yeah, man. Corpus Christi. Well, Coastal Airways has made it to Corpus, folks. Gotta love it. Here we are. Wicked weather coming in. That's it. Put her at the gate here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, folks. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We stream every week. And until next time, keep the blue side up on the